You're listening to The Sports Fix.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Harry Buffalo. Catch every UFC pay-per-view live in full HD at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, just outside Great Northern Mall. Harry Buffalo. Join the herd.
Sports Fix listeners, don't wait all day or all week to get in on the fun. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. The Sports Fix social media sites are your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. Jump over to Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, and become a fan today because we love fans and they create some of the best sports talk in town, Daddy. You'll enjoy talking to your fellow Cleveland sports fans on the Sports Fix fan page. And if Twitter's your thing, well, you know how we do it. Fix CLE, it's that simple.
Twitter.com/TheSportsFixCLE, baby.
Chat live with the crew during all your favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today, The Sports Fix on social media, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix. CLE, join The Sports Fix on Facebook and Twitter today.
Hey, it's Hugh Hewitt, and when I want to know what's going on with the Cavs, the Browns, and the Tribe, I tune into Sports Fix.
Live in Ohio, it's time to get your fix. The Sports Fix.
Welcome in, everybody. We are live. I know this is going to be a tough day to get through, guys. I know, as the Cleveland Browns once again get pummeled yesterday at home. 0-8 first half of the season behind an absolutely terrible quarterback. I mean, here we go again, right, Cleveland? Wait a minute. Hey, let me look at my paper here. I'm wrong. Wait, that can't be right. That's what I would think if I was listening to the radio dials and reading the interwebs and the tweets around Cleveland. Are you sure? Let me check one more time. Hold on a second. Sports page, check. Browns record, check. 5-3. 5-3. They won yesterday? They won that game yesterday. Well, I'll be damned. I got to change the whole show. I had no clue based on the reaction. Looking at I'll tell you what, I'm having some fun here this morning. If you look up and down different segments of our Facebook and our social media and some of the comments, the personal messages that I've had sent to me here this morning, you'd have thought that that's the show that we're going to have today, that's where we're at. But lo and behold, I just checked. It's in the paper, and you know, if it's there, it must be true. I'm sure of it. The Browns are not 0-8. The Browns are 5-3. I don't know how they did it, because they may have the worst team in existence, according to some people. Let's redo this and start it off the right way. I was having some fun here because I'm completely to my wit's end with some of the stuff going on around here, man. I mean, listen, I'm just saying, I guess that a certain portion of the Browns/Cleveland fan base, y'all were watching that other Cleveland Browns team for the last 15 years. Y'all were watching that other team. I was watching the other one. We were watching different Browns teams for the last 15 years. You guys were watching the one that was winning all the time, I guess, while I was watching the one that was going 4-12 and 5-11 in the good years. I was watching the team that had one plus 500 record since they came. I was watching teams that have actually been the dregs of football since 1999, when the NFL did Cleveland dirty and sent us back with that garbage that they called an NFL franchise. But you guys must be watching the other team, the one that has been in this position all the time. I tweeted something yesterday, and I said, man, only in Cleveland, while the mechanic is in the driveway trying to get our ratty old car just to start, we're already worried about the paint job and going, man, that thing's so ugly, I can't take it to work tomorrow. I can't take that thing to work. Look at it. I got to paint that thing. How am I supposed to get a promotion in that car? Meanwhile, you work in the mailroom. You're at an entry-level job going, how am I going to get a promotion to CEO driving a car like that? That's the mindset that you're living in right now. Jeez Louise, man. Can't just sit back and enjoy the fact that it's been no, see, that's the problem, is that a large portion, I'm not going to say large because a lot of fans are enjoying what's going on, but a large portion of the fan base is going to find themselves at the end of this season sitting back and going, man, I don't know what everybody was talking about, man. That season wasn't enjoyable. No, because you spent your whole time mumbling and bumbling and stumbling back and enjoying it, But hey, I get it. They're a horrible team that plays other horrible teams. None of them should exist. The NFL should wipe them all out. There should be 6 teams in the league, and they should play each other every week. Peyton Manning gets rolled. Nobody says nothing. Brian Hoyer throws an incomplete pass. We get 3 different camera angles of Johnny Manziel on the sidelines. It's amazing here, man. Welcome into the Sports Fix. Let's forget that garbage. That's why you tune in here. Let's do it the way we do it each and every day. Welcome in live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. We're going to talk Browns. The Browns, another one. You get it done, and however you have to go out and get it done. Browns took care of business in the second half. A couple of Brian Hoyer touchdown passes. I know if you listen to, I know that sounds crazy because, that didn't happen. But a couple of second half Brian Hoyer touchdown passes. The Browns got the victory yesterday, took care of business. Defense came up with some good plays as well. We're going to talk about all that. Blocked kick and a blocked field goal and a blocked punt in the same game. Haven't done that since like 1836, And the blocked field goal, by the way, I know I got to do the intro and stuff, but man, Billy Witten hurdled that man and then went up and blocked the kick. Now that was one hell of an athlete. I've hung out with Billy Witten personally a couple of times. That's a big boy. He is a big guy, man, and that's athletic as hell. I'm just going to tell you that now. But, really set the tone right there. And then the big one on the punt later really helped switch things around as well. But Browns do get the victory yesterday. However, you got to do it. And, we'll talk about the ins and outs of that. Bobby Rainey running on him in the first half. Defense came up, started stopping the run a bit in the second half. Their offense woke up, still not running the ball very well, I guess. A slight bit better in some instances with West, but Tate had a bad one there yesterday. It's still going to be. That's going to continue. You got Cincy on a short week coming. We're going to talk about all of that here. We'll get into the Browns. We'll get into all of the NFL. I mentioned Peyton Manning, Denver, New England. Great game from Tom Brady there. I'll tell you what, man, a real blowout. Not a lot of people saw that coming. Arizona, Brandon Weeden played yesterday. Hey, Dallas, how you feeling about Brandon Weeden today? We're going to talk about that with John McMullen from the Sports Network. He's here today as we do that thing each and every Monday. John joins us. We'll talk Browns. We'll get his thoughts on the win. Cincy coming up. We'll talk about Cincinnati. How about Jeremy Hill? Talk about Bobby Rainey running. That's the next one that the Browns are going to have to worry about stopping right there. We'll talk about all of it with John McMullen from the Sports Network. We've got Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan here. As Charles just said, Buckeyes, absolute hitting Illini, sets the stage for the one a lot of us have been looking to. Buckeyes have been looking to it. They can't say it, but you know that they have, especially with the teams that they've played here in the interim. Michigan State, Spartans, Buckeyes. We're going to talk about all of that. Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan, talk about Cavaliers. Hey, speaking of getting it twisted, I'm just saying it's our first time talking since Friday night. They quieted a few people up Friday night when they went to Chicago and took, what a great game too. They didn't, dominate. It was a back and forth game, tough, tight game between two teams that expect to see each other quite a bit down the home stretch of this season. And the Cavs did a great job of rebounding, offensive rebounding. Tristan Thompson tied the Cavs franchise record with a dozen of them bad boys. Kevin Love had 16 boards to go with 16 points. LeBron James had a big night offensively. Kyrie Irving, big down the stretch. Couple of good first games there. And just a good answer. Hey, man, it's 2 games instead of 1. But it was a good answer. And I think to me, maybe you can see it differently, but I think to me, showed that the first night was a lot there was a lot more to the way the first night went down than just the basketball on the floor. I get it. You're big boys. You should be able to handle distractions. There's going to be a lot bigger distractions if you get where you want to get to at the end of the season. But same time, it just showed, and maybe a part of it was like we were talking about Friday, being able to get away, go on the road, get away from the blah, blah, and the huzz and all that and everything in the air, the buzz, just go play ball. And they played some ball, played some good ball. Now they get to do that again, go out west here starting tomorrow. 3 games on the West Coast. Again, kind of a galvanizing road trip together. It's us against the world. You bunker in. That's how you do it. And so maybe that's a good thing to start the season that way. And a couple of good tests here, but just a good bounce back there. Real quick difference from Thursday night, and it showed that, yes, indeed, this is going to be a fun basketball season regardless of where the top end of that goes. So we're talking all of that here, so much more today. Let's do it. It's the Sports Fix, baby, and we are open for business. I am the Big Daddy on the microphone, J-Rock, Jerry Myers with you guys here Monday through Friday at noon, live on the sportsfix.net, our home base where many of you listen to the show, live on Spreaker and Mixler and their respective mobile applications, live on TuneIn and TuneIn's radio app worldwide, crystal clear HD audio as well. Welcome in thousands of you that listen each and every day around the world on digital delay, various time zones, on iHeartRadio, the world's largest internet radio provider, on iTunes, on Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud, CarPlay, all the different places, DAR FM, all these sites and sounds and places that you enjoy the Sports Fix. Thank you guys so much for doing it and being here with us each and every day. We're rolling. Phones are open. I'm going to them right here. 216-539-7535. 216-539-7535. If you can't get to the phones, let's get that social media up and buzzing. And then while you're at it, on social media, tell somebody to tune into the show. Wherever you're listening to the show right now, click the share button, send it out there to the world, tell them to listen to us, and you can talk to us right now on Facebook and Twitter and email, facebook.com/The Sports Fix, or just search for The Sports Fix on Facebook. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix, CLE, all one word. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. Man, I guess, you know what? I'll go. I'll do my thing here in a minute. I'm going to go to the phones and let you guys do your thing. Caller, kick us off today on The Sports Fix.
J-Rock Daddy.
Hey, my man LG. What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, shoot me some kind of high tone through this phone line and hurt my head. Make sure I'm alive. I think I'm dreaming this stuff.
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Man, oh man, J-Rock, 5-3 with 8 games left to play. I am nothing but excited about this Cleveland Browns football team. I can't believe the fans sitting in Cleveland, Ohio, rooting and booing Brian Hoyer. Are you kidding me? Are these the same idiots that were sticking up for Brandon, Mr. Interception Whedon, that can't even go out there and play with a class act team like the Dallas Cowboys, who were 6-1 coming in before Whedon got back there and took over?
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I haven't got to get into much from yesterday yet, and that bothered me. And I understand, trust me, I understand fans are allowed to express their frustrations and all of that. But to me, you're 4-3, a victory that takes you to 5-3. What in the world are you booing your team for? Listen, if the Browns are 2-6 and they're playing a bad game against a 1-7 team and you're frustrated with the whole season, okay, I get booing to show your frustration, but that really kind of bothered me yesterday. I saw it coming off the field on the one drive, and I'm like, listen, Brian Hoyer makes his mistakes just like anybody else, but for you guys to, as a fan base, to do that, and it's not everybody. Everybody.
First of all,
but, well, okay, go ahead.
They're booing a hometown kid, J-Rock.
Well, I understand.
This kid grew up there. His dream was to play as a Cleveland Brown, and now this man's living out his dream. And not only are the Browns 5-3 with Brian Hoyer on the field this season, Brian Hoyer is now 8-3 as a Cleveland Browns starting quarterback. Who was the line? Come on, man. Are you kidding me?
Brother,
listen to this, J-Rock Daddy. Listen to this. Yesterday afternoon, Brian Hoyer was sacked 3 times, and you know a couple of them hits hurt. That's sacked. He was hit 7 times by the Tampa Bay defense, man. You can imagine Brandon Whedon being back there getting hit. How many mistakes would we see this guy making? Brian Hoyer, 10th, J-Rock Daddy, in the NFL amongst quarterbacks. Can you imagine the quarterbacks that Brian Hoyer is playing better than, man, to be ranked 13? You're talking about guys like